It is good to be back in the great state of Ohio. Now, I know there are those who like to report on the back and forth in Washington, but my only concern is the people who sent us to Washington. The families feeling the pain of this recession. The folks I've met across this country who have lost jobs and savings and health insurance, but haven't lost hope. The citizens who defied the cynics and the skeptics who went to the polls to demand real and lasting change. Change was the cause of my campaign. It is the cause of my presidency. And when my administration came into office, we were facing the worst economy since the Great Depression. We were losing an average of 700,000 jobs per month. Hundreds of thousands of Ohioans have felt that pain firsthand. Our financial system was on the verge of collapse, meaning families and small businesses couldn't get the credit they needed. And experts were warning that there was a serious chance that our economy could slip into a depression. But because of the action we took in those first weeks, we've been able to pull our economy back from the brink. Now that the most immediate danger is past, there are some who question those steps. So let me report to you exactly what we've done. We passed a 2-year Recovery Act that meant an immediate tax cut for 95% of Americans in small business. 95%. It extended unemployment insurance and health coverage for those who lost their jobs in this recession. Provided emergency assistance to states like Ohio to prevent even deeper layoffs of police officers and firefighters and teachers and other essential personnel. At the same time, we took needed steps to keep the banking system from collapsing, to get credit flowing again, and to help responsible homeowners hurt by falling home prices to stay in their homes. In the second phase, we're now investing in projects to repair and upgrade roads and bridges, ports and water systems, and in schools, and clean energy initiatives throughout Ohio and all across the country. And these are projects that are creating good jobs and bring lasting improvements to our communities and our country. But there's no doubt that the steps we've taken have helped stave off a much deeper disaster and even greater job loss. They've saved and helped create jobs and have begun to put the brakes on this devastating recession. But I know that for the millions of Americans who are looking for work, and for those who are struggling in this economy, full recovery can't come soon enough. I hear from you at town hall meetings like this. I read your letters. The stories I hear are the first thing that I think about in the morning, they're the last thing I think about at night. They're the focus of my attention every waking minute of every day. The simple truth is that it took us years to get into this mess, and it will take more than a few months to dig our way out of it. But I want to promise you this, Ohio, we will get there. This economy from recession. We need to address the fundamental problems that allowed this crisis to happen in the first place. Otherwise, we'd be guilty of the same short-term thinking that got us into this mess. That's what Washington has done for decades. We put things off, and that's what we have to change. Now is the time to rebuild this economy stronger than before. Strong enough to compete in the 21st century. Strong enough to avoid the waves of boom and bust that have time and time again unleashed a torrent of misfortune on middle-class families across the country. why we're building a new energy economy that will unleash the innovative potential of America's entrepreneurs and create millions of new jobs, helping to end our dependence on foreign oil. We're transforming our education system from cradle to college so that this nation once again has the best educated workforce on the planet. We are pursuing health insurance reform so that every American has access to quality, affordable health care. I want to talk about health care just for a second. I want to be clear. Reform isn't just about the nearly 46 million Americans without health insurance. I realize that with all the charges and the criticism being thrown out there in Washington, many Americans may be wondering, well, how does my family or my business stand to benefit from health insurance reform? What's in this for me? Folks are asking that. So I want to answer those questions briefly. If you have health insurance, the reform we're proposing will give you more security. You just heard Rick's story. Reform will keep the government out of your health care decisions, giving you the option to keep your coverage if you're happy with it. So don't let folks say that somehow we're going to be forcing government-run health care. It's just not true. And it will keep the insurance companies out of your health care decisions too. By stopping insurers from cherry-picking who they cover and holding insurers to a higher standard for what